What's up, you guys? In today's video, I got a huge announcement. I just sold my woodworking business, Iron by Iron Woodworks, and I want to tell you why. Let's dive in. Well, hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the podcast. As always, I'm grateful for your time and your attention. And in today's video, obviously, we got a huge announcement. I just sold Iron by Iron Designs, or Iron by Iron Woodworks. It is a huge life move for me, and I really want to walk in this video through the process of coming to the decision to sell the business, why, and what the future holds for me, and also kind of talk to you about how this could be a goal of yours long-term as well. You know, ideally, the American dream here is that you build a giant business, you sell it for a gajillion dollars, and you walk away with a bunch of cash and you go live on a beach somewhere in the Bahamas, right? Well, I'm not there, and we didn't sell it for a gajillion dollars, but I do want to talk to you about what the sales process looked like and kind of how you could do the same thing if you built a big enough business in order to do it. So just kind of to start, only 1% of businesses ever get sold. Most businesses that the owner transitions out of the business either get passed down to heirs or they get shut down. Most businesses just get shut down because there's not enough structure, not enough systems in place. The owner is too involved in the day-to-day operations of the business to keep the business alive and for anybody else to want to buy it. You know, you can go interview for a job. Why would you want to go pay a bunch of money to go buy a job, right? So in order to sell a business, you have to have some intrinsic value established in the business. It has to be profitable, and there has to be some systems in place that has allowed the owner to remove themselves from it. Now, that was one beautiful thing that I was able to do with Iron by Iron, was that I worked at the church full time for the last 6 years and have built this business to last year in 2023. It did right at $900,000 in top line revenue. And so the only way that I could have done that was to establish a lot of systems. Now, I want to talk to you today about, number one, why did I choose to sell? I know a lot of you guys may be wondering, well, Zach, why did you sell it? And it's almost like a gut punch. Oh, the woodworking business guy sold his woodworking business. Well, let me tell you why I chose to sell it, okay? So first off, I am a full-time pastor, meaning 40 hours plus per week at my church. I am super involved there. I want to be more involved there. I feel like the Lord has called me to continue what I'm doing there. And so that's number one. Full-time pastor. Number two is I had a $900,000 per year woodworking business with 7 employees, okay, which is at this point a pretty big animal for somebody to try to lead and try to manage while they have another full-time job. Number three is that I produce content for you guys here on YouTube and on the podcast. I also am a coach and a consultant to over 30 active clients right now inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, which again takes some time, takes some involvement. I own rental properties. I'm actively investing in Airbnb and short-term rental properties. And then on top of all that, I'd like to have a life. I am a husband to my wife, Taylor. We've been married 8 years. I have 3 beautiful kids, and I want to be as present as I can be as a husband and as a father as well. So when you tally up all the things that I just mentioned, you realize that I had a pretty big workload. There was a lot going on in my life. There's a lot on my plate, and I'd really just kind of come to terms with the fact that something needed to come off of my plate. Number one, I don't feel called to leave the church. I feel like that's where I'm supposed to be. And then I feel like my future is really in helping people learn what I did. It's really in the coaching and consulting side of things. My gift mix, I'm a naturally pretty good communicator. I'm not gonna say I'm a great communicator, but I'm naturally a pretty good communicator and teacher and speaker. And so kind of moving more into this expert role of what I do here on the podcast and on the YouTube channel, but really trying to grow the Woodworking Business Accelerator program more and reach more people all across North America. That's really my goal with that. I still had a lot of vision for that. And then also investing in real estate. That's a long-term play of my wife and I's, and wanting to continue to grow and scale that as well. And so really we just came to the point where something had to give, and what we realized was causing, honestly, the most stress in my life was this organism, this business that I had grown to almost $1 million a year that I couldn't really be involved in. I really didn't have the capacity or the bandwidth to be involved in it. And it's just, when you have $15,000 to $20,000 per week that's flowing in and out of your account, that's just a lot to manage and a lot to keep up with. And so for me, I realized, I've done what most people can't do. I've grown this woodworking business to almost $1 million a year. I have moved us into a new commercial location. I've purchased a 53-inch wide dual head belt sander, installed an industrial grade spray booth. We've jumped through hoops. We have scaled the team, grown the team. And for me to try to think of vision of the next step where the business needed to go, it really involved me being much more involved. involved, and I knew that that wasn't a possibility for me. That's really kind of what led me to the decision of saying, hey, I think it's time to step away from this business. And so with that being said, I want to talk to you briefly as well about like how to structure and sell a business if you are in that place. Like maybe some of you are watching this and you might be a business owner in another industry and you are interested in getting into woodworking. This may be something that you're trying to scale into or grow into, and you would need to sell your other business in order to do it. Well, one of the number one things that I can tell you, position your business before you get ready to sell it as attractive to an owner. So number one is if you are super active in the business, if it is an incredibly difficult business to run, if you are responsible for making the thing happen, people aren't going to be interested in buying that. You need to replace yourself, you need to grow revenues, and you ultimately need to have enough top line revenue that you can have employees running the business and you still profit from it. Now, generally speaking, the way that selling a business works is that whatever your net profits are, based on the industry and based on how much volume is in those net profits, you're going to get a multiple of those net profits in regards to the sale. So like, let's just say, for example, you had a business that was profiting $100,000 per year. Well, depending upon the industry, you might get 3 to 5 times those net profits in that sale. That's kind of how the finances work around selling a business, is knowing, number one, that you can't be the one that's driving all the success, driving all the revenue. You have to have employees that are helping you do that. But then two, you need to have enough profitability that you can get a really strong multiple for the sale of that business. The second thing I'll just say, have it in your mind, have some deadline set of, this is when I'm going to list the business for sale. This is when I'm going to close down and I'm going to take offers on the business. This is how I'm going to walk through the due diligence phase, the timeline for due diligence, and this is when I would like to close. So having a timeline and a realistic timeline as well. When you list the business, I really recommend listing it on bizbuysell.com. Bizbuysell.com is a marketplace of businesses for sale. Create a really attractive listing around what you do, what your finances look like, what things you've done that are really great inside the business, and then also all of the opportunity that's kind of untapped inside of your business. You probably know like what the next stage in your business is of where it needs to go, but if you know that, then you can write out a really good listing around what that looks like. You are selling your business. Just like you sell your products to customers inside of your business, you are selling your business to prospective buyers that might be interested. And so once you list that on BizBuySell, you'll start getting hopefully a lot of inquiries that are interested in it, wanting to learn more about it. And then it's kind of a slow and methodical process of meeting with each potential buyer and kind of taking that 30-minute to hour-long call or sit-down conversation, just kind of walking them through the 30,000-foot view of your business. And then from there, the potential buyers would need to submit a letter of intent to purchase. And so it's really not official if they just tell you, hey, yeah, I think I want to buy it. They need to submit an official letter of intent to you. And then one thing that I really like to do, or that I realized through the sale of the business, is taking multiple buyers into and through the due diligence phase. This is where I think a lot of people go wrong selling a business, is that they will only pick one person or get one offer and then take them into due diligence. Due diligence is basically where the seller is trying to find any flaws or mistakes in your business and kind of beat you up about it, if I can be quite honest. This is where, hey, yeah, we were going to offer this with our letter of intent, but based on this and this and this, our offer is way less. And so if you only have one buyer or potential buyer in due diligence, then they can beat you up and you feel like you're handcuffed, right? You either have to say no deal or you have to sell it for way less than you hope for. So by taking multiple potential buyers into due diligence, you're going to allow them to kind of bid against each other. They'll try to stay more honest around the value of the business. And then it's kind of a long process, obviously, to transition out of your own business and transition the new owners in. But one thing that I agreed to with the sale of my business was to stay on as a consultant for 12 weeks after the sale of my business to help them with any questions or concerns that they had as they went. And so, but the point of this video was, number one, to announce that I did sell Iron by Iron Woodworks. That is a huge win for me and for my family. We grew it to just shy of $1 million a year. That's a huge win for me. And then ultimately, knowing that I'm passing that off to people that I actually really like, I really think they're going to do a great job. And I think that they have the capacity, the knowledge, and the smarts to take it where I couldn't have taken it based on the other things that I have going on in my life. And so it's a little bit of a bittersweet moment. This is kind of my baby that I stepped out into my garage, unemployed, and started building furniture and didn't know what I was doing. And everything that I know about business is because of Iron by Iron Woodworks, and all the knowledge and all the information that I've been able to impart to you, that I'll continue to impart to you, is from that business. I'm super grateful for the time that me and Iron by Iron Woodworks had together. And so But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. If you are trying to get started in your woodworking journey, the best free resource that I can offer you is the ebook that I wrote, Handmade Business Secrets. There's a link to that in the description below. Be sure to check that out. It's completely free to you. And then if you're looking to really take some proactive steps, be sure to check out the Handmade Hero Academy. If you're stuck beneath $3,000 to $5,000 per month, you're trying to get to $5,000 to $10,000 a month, those principles inside of that program are going to really help you get there. And then number two, if you're really trying to scale and grow to a production style woodworking business that you're doing 10 to 20 to 30 and upwards $1,000 per month, be sure to check out the Woodworking Business Accelerator program in the description below as well. So with that being said, I appreciate you all, love you, and I'll see you in the next one.